believe Roxanne Shante is in the building. All right, so Michael, why don't you start it off with like what brought you to this project? Was this like an idea that you had? Was how did Roxanne get involved? And you know.
Yeah, so like you said, my first film, Pony Show, like in 2015. Woo! Yeah, and then like I met Nina, and she we connected instantly, and then she knew my next movie I wanted to tell like a female protagonist lead with a woman lead, and she just brought this idea to me about Roxanne Shante. She sent me Roxanne's Revenge, and I saw this young lady rapping, fur coats on, and I wanted to know who she was, and once I met with Chanté, the film started with, I wanted to go one way with it, but then I met her and I heard her story. I had to do it like this. So, yeah.
All right. So Roxanne and Chanté. Chanté, you are brilliant and amazing. I would watch you do anything. So, I mean, really, so how much of the story, you know, I mean, I know it's real, it's your story. Like, how much did you feel like you needed to, you know, change for the screen, or is this just an unfiltered story of Roxanne Shante?
Actually, it's unfiltered. That's what you see on the screen is the story. And I remember meeting with Michael, and we were sitting down, and we were actually sitting down in Central Park. And I think it was like, he said like that was the first time that someone who was going to tell their story picked someplace as noisy and as public as Central Park. And we went and got sandwiches, we sat down, and literally I told him everything like as if he was a distant family member, like as if he was just too young to remember what happened. And then that was the result, and they are amazing. Please give them a round of applause. They are amazing.
So, and then in the casting process, like how did you find Chanté, your Chanté?
Yeah, so we cast, like our casting, Jessica Daniels.
Several casting directors thought this was a daunting cast. I mean, to cast the lead girl, and Jessica said, "I'll do it." And we looked over 600 girls.
Yeah, we filmed it like a week and a half before we prepared to shoot, and then so she had to come in like and do all this with a weekend, well, less than a weekend of preparation. So it was crazy. It was a lot of.
She's incredible. She is incredible.
She had to rap, act real, act good, and perform. You know, you had to, perform. So it was a lot for her, but she stuck through it and killed it.
Absolutely, and I mean, nothing's better than the fact that her name is Chanté. Like, that is just a sign.
And we really wanted an unknown for this role because we just felt like it would be, great to not only introduce a young actress to the world, but we wanted someone who could just absorb themselves in the character and didn't come with baggage. But we are so grateful for you, Chanté, because you literally did walk into the door in like 8 days, whatever it was, and we're just so proud of you. So thank you.
Right here.
When you were battle rapping at 10, 12, what did you think your dream was? What was your goal? Was it just to literally be the champ of Queensbridge Housing Project, which, 40,000 person housing project is a big deal, but
Absolutely.
that was your goal, right?
I think coming from the largest housing project in the world, which is Queensbridge Public Housing, you're talking 96 buildings, you're talking almost 6 to 12 blocks if you count it all up, and 30,000 tenants at any time on paper. You kind of live in your own world. So if you are like the queen there and you're the champion there, nothing outside of that seems to matter because you're like, look, I have 30,000 people with me. And one of the main factors of being a battle rapper was I felt the need to represent them everywhere I went. I felt like I was representing 30,000, so I walked like I had 30,000 people with me and talked like there was 30,000 people with me. And when you have so many musical talents, because there's so many talented people there, not everyone got a chance to make a record, but when we would have park jams, I was just another little kid in the park jam with all of the greats. So yeah, that's how I felt, like I was just representing Queensbridge. The very first time I heard myself on the radio, I was actually going to a show it took me a while to catch it on the radio, even though they were playing it all the time, but, I was still busy doing laundry and everything, it wasn't a big hit for me yet, and so I was busy doing that, and the first time I heard it, I remember telling the car to pull over, just so I could hear it, and I was like, wow, that's how I sound. And then I remember the person who was driving the car at the time, and he was like, that don't sound real good, it sounds kind of rough, like, that don't sound, he said, you sound a little bit out of breath, and your voice is kind of cracking, and I was like, but I'm going to do a show. So there's some people out here who like this, and I felt proud. It was amazing. It was amazing, but I wish I would have heard it that very first night, because you can just imagine how that adrenaline was all night.
And that's one thing about hip hop and the culture, like her life changed overnight. I wanted to show you all like the before and after, like she came back home in like less than like 3 days, I think, less than a week, she became Roxanne Shante.
Yes, and if you think that's amazing, imagine the fact that we did this movie. How long did it take to do the whole movie from beginning to end, from meeting to Sundance? A year? 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. Amazing. 1 year. In that year, we met, you wrote, direct, filmed, casted, and we edited, and we're here. And you know what? This was my first time seeing the movie. Yeah. I loved it.
I want to ask you a few questions. You talked about the cinematography and the type of lighting you wanted, because it kind of had like an 80s style to it.
Yeah, I mean, that helps with the color grade too, but the big thing was like the camera movement. I wanted to like be virtual, just stay there, let the camera work around the actors, let the actors do their thing, and we just want to capture it. So that was my main thing. I didn't want anything crazy shots. We just wanted to be subtle and just let the camera move around the actors, let the actors do their thing. So that was the biggest thing I was looking for.
For Roxanne, two things. Is that story about Nas, is that actually true? And you still wrap it up?
Yes, the story about Nas is true and can be confirmed in his story, which is his documentary that he did called Illmatic. Time is Illmatic. So he confirmed it in there. So yes, that's definitely the truth. And actually, after this, I will be performing. So yeah, you will get a chance to.
Right there.
Oh my goodness.
Too long.
Too long. Absolutely. I had orthodontist work. My mom had got it when I was early, like when I was younger. I was about maybe 11. And I actually wore braces until after the birth of my son. So I had them on for about 5 years.
That's why we kept it like that.
Yeah, 5 years, and I mastered the braces. Like, I just mastered. They became like my lucky charm, I think.
Like, I was doing research, I was looking at pictures, and I was like, oh, she got braces. And then I found out she sucked her thumb, too. I was like, wow, like, she was one photo where she's on tour with her head down. I was like, cool. All this stuff had to go in there, the details.
No, she's not. You know what is so crazy that I still have the same 10 friends that I've had since I was little. Not that I don't believe in not making new friends. I love meeting new people. I love meeting people. I love it. But I do take the friendship very serious, and I take the word friend very serious. And because of that, it's a certain thing that you earn. We learn each other. We know each other. We know things about each other. We're willing to give each other a kidney. And you're willing to do that for your best friend. And yes, she's still my best friend today.
And also from a writer's standpoint, I put all her friends into one person, because she would tell me a bunch about different people. So I was like, okay, I can't show everyone, so we just put it to one person.
Absolutely, absolutely.